Today's vlog is about exploring the parallel dimension. So many of you are probably intrigued by the word the parallel dimension. You know, we live in this world, which is the natural world, where there are houses, roads, buildings, people, our bodies. And then there's another realm, the spiritual realm or the spirit world. And most people encounter the spirit world after they die. But there are some people who know about the spirit world and who can see spirits while they're still alive. Our vlog today is about exploring the unknown and exploring the knowledge about the unknown. And we're going to speak to a panel of experts, and they're going to be from various fields. We'll talk to an astrologer, an angel, card reader, soul, hypnotist, a tarot card reader, and a Reiki specialist. Now this entire world, we have the natural world, and then we have a realm where we talk about energy. What is energy? The entire universe is energy. Everything in this world is made of energy. There's good energy and there's bad energy. And a Reiki specialist use energy for healing. Life presents many challenges. You know, we have our trials, our tribulations. Sometimes we need healing, and healing is not only just available from doctors. There's homeopathic healing, there's energy healing, which is Reiki, and then there's spiritual healing. Because of time constraints, I could only interview a handful of people, and despite that, this particular vlog has really become a bit of a documentary, so it is rather long. Please bear with us because it is a journey. When it comes to the other realm, or the spirit world, or the knowledge of the unknown, may that be through tarot or palmistry or astrology or any other medium, there are people who don't believe, and there are some people who are on the fence, and there are some people who are believers. I think I consider myself to be a believer. On some things I was on the fence, but after having the privilege of speaking to these wonderful ladies, I think they've really widened my horizons and really made me understand the depth. It's the depth in their wisdom, you know. We don't exist in this universe alone. This universe is too big for it to be occupied just by us humans. I just thought that through this vlog, I'll give you a window of opportunity to kind of get to know and meet these wonderful ladies and really learn from their wisdom and knowledge. So just want to welcome you to Truly Sadia.
Astrology has many branches. We have palmistry, the horoscope method, we have horary astrology, Prussian Lagan. The method that I have shifted towards is Prussian Lagan. Prussian Lagan means you ask a question, and based on the time that you ask a question, I will do my interpretation and give you the answer. The reason I choose to work more on Prussian Lagan is because over the years I found that many horoscopes did not have accurate timings. So the interpretation would always go up and down. That's the reason I love Prussian Lagan. It's, I think, very accurate.
The quest for self-healing took me deep into the realms of holism and healing to understand that delicate balance between mind, body, and spirit. I believe that each one of us has a unique healing and balance quotient, and I aim to always inspire, support, and empower each one to take responsibility to find those right pieces to their jigsaw puzzle of healing. That's what I like to call it. Now, the foundation on which I extend this support to whoever I connect with in the realms of wisdom and healing is primarily on Ascension Reiki, or it's also called Angelic Attunements of Light, but I like to call it Angelic Reiki.
My work is focused on the soul level, helping clients heal deep issues, whether wounds, traumas, whether it be conflicts within themselves, through using my work from life coaching, to angel guidance, to hypnosis. My work is basically helping people heal, basically going to the deep root of issues, whether it be through conversation, whether it be through relaxing a client so that they can access themselves to be able to go into things that their conscious memory or mind may not have remembered or recalled or even registered.
I'm an intuitive reader, so I get messages, so I become a channel of information for my guides or for any other entities that should choose to want to come through to help the queryant who is asking the question, who has come to me for a reading. Ultimately, I come from a place of unconditional love.
Does a parallel dimension exist? What is the parallel dimension?
To me, the parallel dimension is, it's all about energies. For example, a parallel dimension, I do believe in the parallel dimension. I feel that there is, a world out beyond ours. I do believe in spirits. I do believe in farishtas, as they call. And most of all, over the last 6 years, I realized that I started observing that energies play a very important role. For me, along with astrology, energies are very important. I realized that whenever somebody went through a bad phase, on the horoscope level or the Prashan Lagan level, strangely, that person's, he got drawn towards a lot of vices, negative energy, and people who may probably, be into frivolous things. As soon as the planet shifted, or he had a protection, the people around him shifted. The one thing that I believe blindly is on energies. They play an equally important role in our lives as planets.
So theoretical physics leads us to believe that there is a multiverse, and there is always an ongoing research to confirm that. So let's just for now put our faith in the fact that there is a multiverse, and on the basis of that, I look at them as the existence of parallel dimensions. And for me, as an Reiki practitioner, I believe that I look at these parallel dimensions as higher energy realms that channel their energy through a Reiki practitioner. And the more advanced you are, the more comfortable you are, the more faith you have, the connection becomes stronger. And these higher realms of energy that I'm referring to as parallel dimensions have carry the energy of the higher wisdom, spirituality, knowledge, which even we are a huge part of.
What is the spirit side? What is many may ask, what is even the other side? The other side, or what is on the other dimension? It's all dimensions. This is a physical dimension. There is the spiritual dimension, which is like as there's two sides of a coin, the physical and the spiritual. You can't have one without the other. What is in the physical realm is that we are most aware. This is what we are conscious in. This is where we are awake. And as many school of thought will say that we are actually dreaming in this realm. Quite an interesting concept, quite an interesting way of looking at it. But so there is the physical realm and the spiritual realm. So we are quite aware of this. This is the realm that we most in belief over. I do feel that God Creator, divine universe, Allah has the ability to tune into any given thing. God could speak to you through a rock. That's what I say all the time to my clients and to people who seek advice from me, is God could speak through anything. So coming back, there is the physical realm and the spiritual realm. The spiritual realm is something that is not quite often spoken or talked about or taught about, and a lot of people don't want to dive as deep into that aspect of it, but it's something that excites me.
This world, for want of a better word, is actually almost, I would say, integrated with otherworldly things. It's actually normal it's actually normal for magic to happen in this reality, in this world, through means of our hidden faculties, of our sixth sense. So I wouldn't personally say that there's a parallel dimension, because it's here already.
Well, I would say that God's been very kind. I did not have to, go through books and all, but I was born with this ability. I think I realized this was a gift, and in the beginning I was a little, uncomfortable, but with age, I realized that it's a part of my life, and it's a gift that God's been very, very kind, and I've accepted it. It took me time. It took me till I was around 16, 17 to accept it. But now I think it's the best thing that God's given me.
But the first real substantial one was knowing my mom was going to die. It didn't really connect consciously. I just thought because it appeared like a thought in my head, a very profound thought, because it's like, Mommy's going to die. And when she did die, that's when I mentioned, I was shocked. I never said it to a single person. So that was really my big, the big one for me. First real interaction with it. And then over the years, as a child, I always had dreams of the death of someone gonna die. Or I remember at the age of 13, one of my uncles, I dreamt he was on a bed of rose petals, and he was his soul was lifting off of his body, and he walked through a doorway on the right hand side. Now I got up in the morning, tell my father the dream, then an hour or two later got a phone call, my uncle got a heart attack and he died.
More often than not, when we're going through a life's challenge, we feel stuck, or we feel we are not getting solutions or clarity to how to move forward in life, and then you kind of seek out help. Whatever the reason or the intention behind them coming session with me, my aim is always, or my goal is always, to inspire, support, and empower them to connect with their higher self, their divine spark that I mentioned about, and to not only help them get past that particular situation that they're going through, but having that connection with their divine spark makes them feel confident to tackle any situations that might come up in their lives even later on. And that's what my approach is. It's called Graceful Reflections. That means it is finding spirituality in everyday experiences.
I think most of the people come to me when they are at crossroads, or they're confused, or they have to take some major decision. So I think when they're not sure of themselves, they want guidance. And I think once they've met me and I have given them the interpretation and things come true, then they like to come back, for more. That's one of the reasons that people come to astrologers, because they just want to make sure that they are following the right path.
Reiki, that's what I practice, is made up of two words, Re and Ki. Re means universal, and Ki is Chi, life force, prana. So it's basically universal life force energy that is being channeled into the receiver through the Reiki practitioner. It's not the Reiki practitioner's energy, it is the universal life force energy, which is gentle, calm, and intelligent, and knows exactly where the receiver needs that energy, where the negative pattern is, where it needs to go and break away that negative energy pattern. The Reiki practitioner, all they do is put the faith in that intention and let that universal life force energy flow into the person who is receiving it. As Reiki Grandmaster Mrs. Takata said, I cannot tell you what Reiki is, but I can show you. And that's how beautiful, gentle, and calm this energy is. In my personal sessions that I do for for my clients, it's I call on the support of angels, archangels, guides and masters, mine as well as the receivers, to help support us and guide us through the session. I also support my Reiki sessions with oracle and spiritual card reading. So I don't do any tarot reading, but I do oracle and spiritual card reading. And the intention or the strength of the oracle card reading is that it helps the person who's receiving the reading to look at their life situation, whether it's a challenge in relationships or health or finances, wherever they are, feeling the need for guidance. The oracle card reading helps to look at their situation from a higher perspective, because when we are in the middle of a challenge, we're not able to find solutions, and that's what the reading does. It helps you to look at your situation from a higher perspective.
My way of working, or my astrology, it's different from other mediums, because in my field we base a lot of calculation based on the movement of the planets, where they are placed. So I think my profession or my way of working is very scientifically proved also. If you notice, we all are made up of 70% of water. Now, during the full moon, the fishermen are told not to go into the sea. Similarly, because of high tides. So if you go into the depth of astrology, find a scientific reasoning for everything. Say if fishermen are not supposed to be going into deep waters around full moon because the tides are high. Similarly, 70% inside of us is water. That is the reason we have a lot of mood swings around full moon.
So the angels of light are very much helpers, divine helpers. They are waiting to be summoned, they're waiting to be asked for help, they're sitting there waiting in the spirit realm and the heavenly realms, waiting to come down and assist, whether it be on a spiritual level or where they are quite invisible, whether it be dropping some sort of advice and clarity into your heart. Now, a lot of people are, I can say, afraid of even asking for help. A lot of people, they battle through life and they get, just overburdened by life circumstances and situations, and they don't ask for assistance. So basically, you have to ask. That's why you pray and you thank Allah, you thank God, you thank the Creator for everything. You thank, and you thank in gratitude even for which that is not even done yet, but thank you for it being done, even in a way beyond comparison, beyond even your mind can even think about. So angel healing is quite different. It's a very loving, as I said before, very loving and very kind and very supportive, and it's something that's very soul deep. It's like, have you ever felt the feeling of being supported to the point that this love that is from God is beyond your own understanding, that you can never do wrong, that you're always loved, you're always appreciated, you're always cared for, despite what. So it's even if something that you've never experienced, that is what it feels like. It feels like these helpers are here like a friend that is beyond time.
So I think what everybody is really interested in is to find out if you can predict the future. And if you can predict the future, how accurate are your predictions?
Good tarot reader will say absolutely no. Everyone has free will. Whenever I do my readings, it's a disclaimer that I always do. And it's how my teacher taught me. I'm not a doctor. Tarot readers aren't doctors, and tarot readers are not forecasts, are not, the weather forecast for your future. They're not. Why? Because you have free will. I can place down a spread, okay? A spread that could literally be like, if you want positivity in your life, this is what you need to do. I've channeled messages to people straight from spirit. But at the end of the day, everybody has the free will to be like, yeah, that's nice, thanks. Or think, well, that was a whole load of shit, to be frank. No, I can't predict the future, and a good tarot reader will tell you the same thing, because you have free will. you create your future. You have choices to explore how you build your world. And do not let anyone take that away from you, because that is an attack on your free will.
Yes, I can definitely say by God's grace and His blessings, I can predict the future. Not only me, I feel a lot of people, a lot of astrologers, psychics can predict the future, and they can do a very good job. I have been blessed, and I have been able to predict a future for a lot of people. I've been able to guide them. I've been able to help them through tough times and tide over the bad patches also.
Absolutely. In accepting the fact that there are higher energies that are supporting us in the Reiki session, we also have to understand there is a balance of life. There is higher energies and there are lower vibrational energies. And that's why it's important, like I mentioned earlier, to ground, center, and protect our energy field every day. And this is not only important for people who are practicing Reiki. I, in fact, recommend it to all my clients to, it's like grooming your energy or toning and setting the tone for your day, to ground yourself, to center yourself, and to protect your energy field, so that when you step into your day, you're going in with that confidence that you are connected with yourself and the higher energies only. And no matter what goes on into the day, you are well prepared.
So yes, there's good and bad energy. Okay, so sometimes some people in different schools of thought would rather focus on it is what it is, and so no judgment over it. But in relaying this information to you, I would like to share what is like good and bad. Okay, you be very discerning about it, right? Some people might ask, how do I protect myself from negative energy? Which can be quite draining and depleting of your energy. It might work against you in different things that you're desiring in your life. Tune into your heart. Tune into what feels light, what feels heavy. What feels heavy are the things that you need to dispel from your life, with things that you need to look deeper into. You need to, don't just go after listening to this, go and check out the energy of everybody in your home and feel heavy around somebody and like, oh no, I need to cut this person off. Go deeper than that. What is about this person is actually making you feel heavy? Is there something that is coming up within you around that person or what that person may mean to you? Okay, so just had to say that. In terms of some good and bad energy, how do you protect yourself from negative energy or bad energy? I'm a big believer about high vibration. I'm a big believer of staying in a state of gratitude and love. I'm a great believer about raising your vibration to a place of that's divine, that's God. A lot of people, especially like in Islamic faith, like to play, Quranic recitations. Like, go on YouTube, go pull something of the Quran being recited and play it in the background. It doesn't have to be something loud. It can be something that's the vibration of that in the home is bringing stillness and peace.
Whenever I come across something that is bad, that's more reflection on me. That's because there's something within me that is bringing that to the light, and there's a lesson that I need to learn from that. So I don't think it's something that you can prevent, but to protect yourself against it, I think a lot of that is you need to I think a lot of that comes down to what's going on with yourself. If you're fooling around with magic, and you have expectations on what you want to see, to be honest, I feel like you're gonna encounter a lot of sort of negative entities anyway, because to sort of just disappointment and just energies that will just wanna mess around with you, because that's the vibrations that you're kind of you're reflecting back. One thing is, when you are practicing any form of magic through any medium, you have to come up with it with responsibility and accountability. Just because you're dealing with a space where you need to be vulnerable, okay? And if you don't know yourself, that's why know thyself is those are very important words. Know thyself. And it's not just like, well, I know that I like, I like this and I love sleeping in. Like, no, it's you need to know yourself entirely, and you have to know your disgusting sides that you don't like about yourself, because that can, if you're not careful, that will become a demon, an elemental. Yes, your emotions can become elementals. If you're angry, you're going to have an angry day, and you're going to see people who will feed off your anger.
Way of asking if God exists. I truly believe in the higher consciousness and the divine intervention, and I see how the divine intervention is an extension of how we fulfill our potential. If you join the dots to the different experiences of your life or the choices you've made, that's your divine intervention at play. And I think it manifests in more than just a few ways in our daily lives. If you only keep our awareness, you can observe divine intervention in your daily life.
I'd like to say something to the non-believers, They are good and bad in every field. I do agree that we may have some black sheep in our, in our profession also, but everybody is not the same. Try it out. Go to a good astrologer, go to a reputed astrologer, go to a psychic, and ask them, if nothing else, to tell you your weaknesses, your strengths based on your horoscope or whatever method they use. I promise you, when a non-believer goes and really with faith listens, things will turn around. I promise you, it's so accurate. When people tell you, about your life and your immediate future, even a non-believer will get converted.
I love skeptics because I always say this. I love skeptics because they're the number one spreading of the joy of the work that I do. They go tell everybody about it because of the experience that they've had. My work is very heart-centered. Okay, what I do, it's so you can initially feel the love and the groundedness and the non-judgment and the kindness. And it's not just only about me, right? It's because that's the way God shows up in my work. That's how the angels show up, because very supportive and kind and very non-judgmental and loving. So what I would say to a person is come with an open heart. Like basically, in terms of in anything, and whether it be through me or another person, or be very discerning and be very discerning from love, not from fear. Now that's very important. That I can talk a whole hour about that, but be very discerning from a place of love.
Because you have these certain gifts that normal people don't have, do you ever feel that you are playing God?
But playing God, I don't think so. To me, I can definitely say the reason is because I know it's a God-given gift. I've not studied for it, and it is His blessing. He just gave it to me, and that's His grace. And if I do not follow the right path, or I try, or I become arrogant or egoistic, I know these are the hurdles in astrology. It will take Him a moment to take it back. When it comes to knowing the future, certain things, I wish we would not know. For example, if you know that somebody's going to pass away, you don't want to know that. But at the same time, there is also a positive side to it. If you know somebody is going to die or something like that is happening, some event which is not so good, you can at least advise that person to make their will. So I would say that it has a positive and a negative side.
So my question to you is, does magic exist?
I've always been a firm believer that magic is everywhere. It's everywhere, but it's how you choose to see it, and it's whether you believe that you want to have a relationship with it. And again, going back to sort of something I said, maybe it's not a relationship for everyone. You know, maybe it's, you know, I used to be back in the day like, oh my god, we should all be into magic, but now I'm like, no, for some people it's not right for them. You know, like my own opinion, you personally, I think it's quite naive and very dangerous to go into magic working with conditions. What kind of stops people from sort of really integrating and welcoming magic into their life is the mystery of magic. But that's because I believe that we live in a time where we don't respect mystery anymore.
Magic exists, definitely it exists. It's been a part of our growing up to hear this thing as a very, very common thing that, oh, so-and-so has done magic on so-and-so. You know, this was very common. This is very common in our country. But I do feel being an astrologer, it's when again, it boils down to when your stars are weak, there is a tendency that people can do on you. But if your stars are positive and you have a saving grace, I don't think anybody can do wrong on you. And there is a side to everything. There is the dark energies, and they are the positive and the light energies too. So there's black magic, but there's also something that we know as white magic, which is the light.
Today's magic is today's science. Magic was simply things that could not be explained to the masses. It was limited to the few who could understand science. Today, with the progress of knowledge, we are able to explain so much of all that we considered as magic.
It's about staying in the heart, being heart-centered, being present to now, right now, this moment right now. You know, this life that you're having right now, even as you're listening to me speak right now, being present to yourself every moment by moment by moment. That is one of the hardest things that we can do. You know, we're so trained to regret the past and eagerly and anxiously look at the future, but not enjoying right now. You know, you gotta be busy, you gotta keep productive, you gotta, especially from the culture, like the Desi culture, you know, you gotta keep going, you gotta be you're never really taught to be still, you know, especially, you know, that's, listen to yourself breathe, listen to the birds outside, listen to the chimes, feel yourself in your body.
You know, astrology or any other medium can be very addictive also. I personally am of that view that every human being has a very intuitive side. I don't know if you've noticed, but if you actually go out and sit and have your cup of tea, you will notice omens. You will notice that the morning speaks to us. You would know, you'll get an indication of how your day is going to be when you step out. I personally feel every human being has an intuitive side, and we are so caught up in this worldly matters, you know, that we don't spend time with ourselves. Astrology can be very addictive. I mean, some way or the other, I feel that even when it comes to going to an astrologer, a psychic, a tarot card reader, try and find a balance. Don't go for just very, very small things. If you have to take some major decisions, find that time, go within, sit out with, with nature, try and find the answer. If you cannot, only then go to an astrologer, because nothing should be an addiction, not even astrology. If there has to be something that's an addiction, there has to be just your connect with God.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this vlog. I know it was rather long, but I really didn't want to edit any of the information that came across, because I feel that it can, at least to the interested people out there, it can really help many and really educate you about what really happens in this particular realms. And you have to understand, this is knowledge. You know, knowledge is scientific, knowledge can be spiritual, knowledge can be about so many aspects of what happens both in this world and outside this world. And I really wanted to find out more about what happens in this big cosmic universe, and how do things work? How does energy work? How do we get in touch with spirits? Can we look into the future? Can we seek the future? Can we change the future? Is there magic? So, these are questions that I have, and I'm sure a lot of you have. And so this vlog was really about discovering, these ideas and these concepts. I hope you've enjoyed watching Truly Sadhya, and I hope you enjoyed watching this vlog. If you like this video, please press the like button and the subscribe button. Stay tuned. There'll be more interesting stuff coming on Truly Sadhya. Follow the Truly Sadhya Instagram account. I always put little teasers of what's going to be coming on that Instagram account, and from there on you can go to the link on YouTube and then watch the channel. So I hope you guys are well and stay happy. Stay tuned. See you next time.